basically today what I want to do is the 3 archfish that I bought a couple of weeks ago. They've been in my quarantine tank, they've been there for a while, they're all feeding, they're all eating, doing really good. I want to get them transferred over to the big pond. Now I've got one archfish in here already. He is basically the same, I think. He should be the same. So I don't think they'll have any issues, they shouldn't be fighting or anything like that. I've still got the baby one that I'm going to be keeping in that tank out there just to grow it on, just because if it goes into there it is going to get eaten. So hopefully it's going to make the archfish in there a little bit more confident. He tends to sort of hide at the back. He does feed when you throw food in, but again he's quite shy, he's quite sheepish. And I'm hoping once I get them through in him, that's a school of 4, I'm hoping that's going to make him a little bit more food aggressive, and that way I can start putting food up and hopefully start getting them to spit at the food and things like that, which is one of the reasons why I wanted them basically. So all I've got to do is I'm going to bag them up from that tank. The water is pretty much the same temperature just because I've got a heater out there and this is heated by the snake room, so the water is pretty much the same, but I'm just going to make sure I get them in a bag, just acclimate them fairly quickly to where it's just exchange the water and then get them straight into there. But catching them is going to be a nightmare just because they're really fast fish, they're really agile, they dart everywhere, so yeah, it's going to be a bit of a pain, but we should get it done. Ignore the tank, this is very dirty, I do need to clean all this off, but these are the guys I'm talking about, these 3 archfish. There's 2 there and then there's 1 hiding just down there. Now they are a decent size, they're a lot bigger, I wouldn't say a lot bigger, but they are pretty big compared to the one that I've got in the tank, so hopefully they don't give him too many problems. I have got this little baby archfish up here, clouded archfish, that I've had to segregate just because these guys were chasing around the tank. I didn't want him to get eaten, and I have got my little special fish in there that I'm still working on. But I will be doing a video on that at some point. As you can see, he's missing a third of his body basically, so I will touch on that at some point. But yeah, we're going to try and get these guys caught. I've only got a tiny net, which is going to make it a bit more difficult. We'll get these guys bagged up and we'll get them floating in the pond. But it wasn't too difficult, I finally got them all in the bag. I ended up using a jug instead of a net just because I feel like they don't see the jug as well as the net, and I think when fish see a net they automatically spook anyway. So you can see they're kind of stressed just because it's trying to catch them. It is a bit of a nightmare, but I've got this bubbler going in, just sort of oxygenate water just to make them a little bit more comfortable if possible. But yeah, you can see they're all swimming downwards, they're trying to get out of the bag. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put water from here into the bag every now and again. Temperatures, like I said, are pretty much exactly the same, so once they're in, hopefully they'll go over to this little chap here. He's already been over a couple of times to sort of have a look, see what's going on. You see the stingray, he's not happy, he's buried himself. But yeah, the archfish, he never sort of hangs over this side, so hopefully you can see them, and hopefully they'll all sort of jump together in one school straight away, just so that these guys in the bag don't get bullied by any of the other fish. This guy here, my little tilapia, well, not so little, he can be a bit of a bully at times. I've got the giant gourami over there. He sort of chases the fish around. I've actually got a couple of green terrors as well. They can be a little bit aggressive, so I think they'll be alright. There's plenty of stuff for them to hide. There's some fake plants and stuff there. There's some vines and things like that hidden over there. So there are places for them to hide if they need to. I still need to add more vines and things like that all the way across just to try and bush out that whole back bit, just so everybody's got a place to sleep for the night basically. But yeah, we'll get these guys acclimated slowly and I'll show you the release. Now if you followed this pond build that I've been doing, this pond originally started out as saltwater, and I just had a load of issues with it, so I thought, I'm just going to change it to freshwater, it's just a lot easier. And I've made a few modifications and I've done this. So I've recently just put these doors on, and they were just resting on the side of the liner here. So what I've recently done is I've put this aluminium U channel or C channel, whatever you want to call it. I've put that in place, so you can see there's a little groove there, and that's what the plastic doors actually sit inside, just like that. So it just makes it a little bit more secure for these to go in, rather than actually sitting on the pond liner there. What I still need to cut the holes in here, I'm still trying to work out whether I can get these laser cut open or not, just because I don't want to risk doing it with a saw and scratching all this up and things like that. But yeah, that's how both of the doors actually sit onto the pond now, and it sort of hides that joint between where this plastic is and the liner, because I did put a bead of silicone all the way along here just to try and make that a little bit nicer looking, and now this just tidies it up a lot better, to be honest. It just looks so much better. But these guys, they're all kicking like mad, they're all really trying to get out of this bag. The other archfish again, he's still coming up, he's still, you can see he's just underneath the bag there, he's coming up and investigating, which I'm really happy to see, so I'm hoping they should all get along. But I'm probably going to leave these in here for another 5 minutes or so. I'll probably chuck a little bit more water in there, and once that's done, you can finally get them in. Right, it's finally time to get them in. I'm going to apologise for the noise that thing over there does make. I'm still working on it. I think I've come up with an option. I wanted to add some more filtration to this. I wanted to add a fluidised bed. So I'm planning on maybe running that outlet all the way over there that makes all the noise into a fluidised bed. I'm going to hopefully dampen the sound a lot more than what it is. So that's one option I'm going to try with. I'll try a few things and I'm going to give that a go. But yeah, right, it's time to get them in. As you can see, they're all raring to go by the looks of it. The other archfish is literally right, if I can get that glare away, he's right down there, waiting in anticipation, I hope. I'm going to try and not mix in the water. Not that there's anything wrong with the other water, but I just don't want to mix stuff. I want to give you a little look at these guys. You can see, oh god, they're spiny. They're very spiny. So you can see the colours on them. Normally they have like black bars and things like that. And you can see they're very, very faded. So, right. Let's stop stressing them out. Let's just get them in. It is just going to be like a really 1-2 go. I've got to be careful this guy doesn't nip a finger. But whoop. In he goes. First one in the pond. It's going to be interesting to see if the other archfish comes straight up to him or not. He's sort of down there in the corner at the minute. But he's sort of swimming around. He's not quite sure what's going on. So quickly get the other two in because I want them to all try and stay together if possible. They're lovely, lovely fish. Get him straight in. Off he goes. And they're a decent size. They're not the smallest fish in here, so they shouldn't get harassed too much. Hopefully they'll find each other in a school up. And we'll get this guy in. Off you go. So there's two of them schooling up already. The third one, he's sort of darting around here, there and everywhere. And my original little guy, there he is. So what I'll do is, I'm going to give him a little while and I'll pick the camera up in a minute just to make sure. I want to keep an eye on everyone, basically to make sure they're all getting on and not fighting. But yeah, I'll pick the camera up and I'll give you a little update of how they're getting on. It's been about an hour, maybe 2 hours now. I've been fiddling around with some certain bits. You can see all four of them are in the corner there. They're all sticking together. The one right there in the middle of the screen was my original one. He seems to be chasing two of them around, and it doesn't seem like it's an aggression thing. It almost seems like it's a spawning thing. I don't know if it's the season for them to breed or what, but I don't know how you tell male and females either. But he sort of, I've watched a lot of fish spawn when I've been fishing, like carp and things like that, and they're sort of chasing each other around, or he's basically chasing them around as if like they're trying to spawn. So that's a really odd one, but the eggs aren't going to survive long in here. They are going to get absolutely munched. I've got to be careful of this pike. He keeps going and having a look. I don't know if it's because he's interested in what they are now, but I'm going to have to keep an eye on him. But I don't know if you can hear. It's silent. I've been pondering about what to do with the pond, and I've cracked it. I've done it. It's silent. And it was the thing that I was talking about. I wanted to add more filtration onto this pond. Obviously, yes, it is a fair big pond, and if you've seen out in the sump area, I've got a huge amount of ceramic media, but I just wanted that little bit extra. I've got a load of foam and filter floss in one section, and now in the top bit I wanted to have a fluidised bed. So I'll give you a very quick sneak peek of what I've done. So this is my new system. So before I had this great big long bit of pipe. It was going all the way down into the sump, which is all in here. I'm not going to lift all this up now and show you, but I'll do this in another video. But basically you can hear that noise. What I think was happening was the water was running all the way down this pipe, splashing into the water at the bottom in the sump, and then that noise was reverberating up into this pipe. And no matter what I did to try and stop that noise, I just couldn't. And it wasn't like a gargling noise, it wasn't a suction noise, it was the noise you can hear now. And now that it's going straight into here, this is making hardly any noise whatsoever. The noise is actually coming. I've got a little pipe that I'll put into the bottom of this that goes down into the sump. I can show you that bit actually. That bit shouldn't be too difficult, he says. So you can see that's where the water's pouring out now, which is causing the majority of the noise. But once I build this up with the foam and have my filter area in there that I need to get sorted, it should be fairly silent, to be honest. I've got to make a little special filter guard that goes on the pipe inside here, just so none of it can get sucked down, and then hopefully by doing that, that will raise that water level up a little bit more, just because there's a little bit more resistance for the water to go through. I will probably, in the middle here, I'll probably put another pipe, or I might actually do it out the back just so that it's hidden, but I'll do another pipe that comes out of there basically as an overflow. So if this does get clogged for whatever reason, then I have got a backup overflow to go in there. But yeah, it solved my problem. Finally, after the amount of time I've had this pond, it's now finally silent. And as you can see, being in here is literally night and day. It's just so much better. I have actually fed these guys. I will do another feeding video at some point. If you haven't seen that, go and check one of my other videos. One of them I do get bitten while trying to hand feed the stingray. But you can see down to the bottom, it's without the glare, it is literally, it's crystal clear in here. And then once I get my filtration properly sorted, I still need to put baffles and things like that out in that sump, but once all that is up and running properly, this water is just going to be perfect. I still need to get a UV sterilizer as well. Again, it's all expenses. I'm trying to do it slow and steady if I can, but I'm still doing water changes on this. I'm probably dropping this about a third, so that's probably about 500 litres I'm doing at a time water change wise. But yeah, as you see, everything's doing really well. Stingray is absolutely beasting me at the minute. He's sort of coming up now to this edge, and he jumps out of the water. He seems to think he's a dolphin. He thinks he can fly. So yeah, he's or she's doing really well. I am still on the lookout for a black diamond of a similar size, maybe a little bit smaller. So yeah, if anyone knows of any decent priced black diamond stingrays going at the minute, preferably female, just because I believe this is a female. Without getting it out and having a look properly, it should be female, and I'm not really interested in breeding stingrays just yet, so I don't want them to get beaten up and harassed by the males, so I'm hoping just to get females for now. But yeah, if anyone knows any female black diamond stingrays going, please shoot me a message. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. I will be training these guys at the back here to start spitting soon. They're already taking crickets, which is ideal. So hopefully I can set up, I want to 3D print like a little feeding stage up here somewhere. So I'll have like a little platform for the crickets to walk on. I want to have, oh, there goes the pike chasing stuff. I want to have like a little feeder box that clicks on the side of all the crickets so they don't jump everywhere, and then they can just walk backwards and forwards as they want, and hopefully these guys will come out and give them a good boshing. So yeah, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.